Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a message that was sent to us by one of our dear sisters, forwarded to me by our admin. The message reads like this. Hello, I'm 27-year-old. I'm from Johannesburg, and I have to get this off from my chest, for it has been haunting me. Maybe if I speak it out, I'll find some peace. So my story, it started on a Friday night. We were in Sandton at this other flashy spot. We were at a club. I had gone there with my friends, Candice and Zanele, not their real names, thinking that we were going to have a very good time there, dance a little bit, maybe meet someone who was very interesting. The place was really packed. You could barely move. The music was blaring and the lights were flashing in every color you can imagine. It was one of those nights where you could feel the energy buzzing around you. People were laughing, dancing, and you could smell the mix of expensive cologne, and it was really nice being there. We were standing by the bar, just enjoying our few drinks because we had raised just a little bit money so that we can buy a couple of drinks whilst we were waiting for some blesser guys to come and then we can drink with them. That was when I noticed him. He was leaning against the wall, watching the crowd. He was really nice, the guy, very handsome, and there was something about him that made him to stand out of the crowd. He was a Nigerian man, probably in his late 30s, dressed in a sharp black suit. His skin was so smooth, and he had this flashy ring that was on his finger, very big, with a strange green stone in the middle. I remember that ring clearly because he kept on rubbing and rubbing it, which felt so weird. He was thinking deeply, and it had this strange effect on me. It caught the light in a way that was almost hypnotizing me. Every time he would move his hand, I would watch him, and I would continue watching him. I found myself being drawn to this man. It was like this man was pulling me in using his ring, and I could not look away from him. We made eye contact, and he came over. He introduced himself to me as Big Mike. His voice was so deep, loud, and smooth, the kind that can make you feel nervous and feel like the man can make you to be safe at the same time, even if you know you're not supposed to be with him. But I felt like I wanted to be with him. He offered to buy me a drink, and that was what we were waiting for. We wanted someone because already our money that we had placed on the tab, it was already running out, and we did not want to be seen just standing there so that it can be obvious that we were waiting for a blesser to come and buy us drinks. We started talking, and he asked me about my life, where I was from, and he seemed genuinely interested. In particular, he told me that he loved women like me, colored like me, smooth skin like me. He even said that my skin was so smooth as if it was gold, and it was nice. He was so charismatic, so charming, and honestly, after a few drinks, I felt like I had known him for years and years. So one thing that I noticed, even my friend Candice even said, dude, why do you keep on playing with your ring? What's up? Because she also noticed that this blesser, he kept on rubbing the ring whilst he was talking to us. And I could not explain it. Each and every time he did that, I felt this warmth wash over me. I even felt that down there I was really getting wet for no reason at all, like I was under a spell. I know it sounds crazy, but it was as if that ring had some hold on me, and I felt like even if this guy were to say strip for me whilst he was rubbing his ring in that moment, I was willing to do anything for him. I felt like following anywhere that he would go. It must have been past midnight when he made an offer. He made an offer, and he was like, for 1.7, are you willing to spend the night with me? 1,700 rands, that was quite a lot. I thought, since this guy, he had already made us to drink a lot of expensive alcohol, I then said, okay, it is fine. He did not say anything more. He just gave me this look, and like he knew that I was going to say yes. And I did. I know that it sounds shallow, but I needed the money. Times are tough, and 1,700 can cover a lot. I was already planning on going to this other cash and carry to buy some food in bulk so that at least we can go for a while. So as we left the club, I noticed that we were not heading to any fancy hotel nearby. With a big car that he was driving, with the way that it looked so expensive, this really bothered me because I thought that he was going to take me to a 5-star hotel. Instead, he drove with me to this old rundown lodge on the outskirts of towns. Like everything at that place just screamed illegal here. The place looked like it had not been cleaned in years. I could even hear people that were busy doing their stuff next door, prostitutes everywhere, walls were cracked, no water in the toilet, as if this thing was not even supposed to be there. At that time, there was no point of me refusing. I felt like I could not. I still needed him to take me back, even to go and drop me home. So he kept on rubbing his ring, telling me to follow him. The room was even worse. It really smelled, as if the bed had not been changed since last night. As for Big Mike, he didn't seem bothered though.
He reached into his bag and pulled out a snake. A real live snake. I couldn't believe it. I just stood there, staring at it.
My whole body went cold as ice.
You're out of your mind.
I wanted to scream, but the words would not come out.
The snake was looking at me, and I was so scared.
I almost lost my breath. I could not move. I just kept thinking.
What the hell? What the hell?
It was like I was trapped in a nightmare, and I couldn't wake up. My hands were shaking, and I wanted to run. Feet were like stones.
I thought, if I run now, he might not let me leave. Everything in me was screaming to get out, but I was frozen.
Staring at that thing like it had me under a spell. He kept rubbing that ring, and I felt like I didn't have a choice. I went through with it. I laid down, and the whole time I kept my eyes praying. My eyes were shut, praying that it will be over quickly. It was the most horrible thing that I had ever done. I felt that snake as it was licking my private parts. It felt like hours, even though it was round about a minute or so. After the minute was over, he handed me the money, 1,700 rands, as if it was nothing. He then asked me if I had the app for Bolt on my phone. I then told him yes, indeed I had the app. He then told me to request a ride. I then requested the ride, and he gave me the cash, and the car then dropped me back at my place. The next day, I felt this terrible pain whenever I tried to sit down. It was like there was something that was inside of my womb, something hard right in my womb, hard and painful. I thought that maybe it was just the stress, or maybe I had hurt myself somehow. But it has been weeks now. The pain has not gone away. It feels like there is this growth, something inside of my womb. I've been to the doctors several times, but still they just tell me that no, it is okay. There is nothing that is in my womb. I really do not know what am I supposed to do. I can't talk to anyone about it. My family, my friends, I don't want anyone to judge me, saying that I slept with a snake. Maybe they can even laugh at me for only 1.7 sleeping with a snake. So this is my own story. I did this because I was just desperate. I needed the money. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.